Them. Let's bring in Jesse Powell. He's the CEO of crypto exchange Kraken. He's here in a Fox Business exclusive. Jesse, what's the last 24 hours been like for you?
For me, it's just another day. It's a walk in the park. You know, this is just a minor dip on the roller coaster that I've been on for the last 10 years. You know, historically, this is really nothing compared to what we've seen in the past.
Okay, I know that you guys are all laid back and cool, but, you know, to have a couple of trillion macheted off the market value of Bitcoin is certainly a little bit of a head scratcher for some people. But do you think that anything that's happening as far as the volatility in crypto world, because Ethereum dipped below 2,000 for the first time in a couple of months, you have it right now still below it at 1950. Does it work into the psyche, in your opinion, of the stock market itself?
I don't know about the stock market. You know, there are a lot of people that piled into crypto in the recent run-up, and I think they don't have a strong view of the fundamentals. They're just sort of along for the ride, and they've got weak hands, you know, and when they see a dip, they sell. And so I think it's really hard to hold crypto, and I think it's a long-term play. You know, if you look at the chart over the last 10 years, you know, Bitcoin has outperformed every other asset in the world, and even over the last year, it's still up 200+%. So when you look at things on a longer time scale, it continues to make sense. You go back and look at the fundamentals, it continues to make sense. If you're going to try to trade this thing day to day, you really need to have super strong fortitude. You need to be able to weather these ups and downs because they're going to keep coming. And I think it's going to be a long time before we see a stable crypto market.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I think it really does reflect, perhaps on a more spasmodic scale, what's really happening in the markets, too. So as we look at all of this happening, I want to talk about POLKADOT. They call it DOT, right? But on Wall Street, this is a crypto that people are comparing to Ethereum. Tell me what happened yesterday, because on your competitor's Coinbase exchange, POLKADOT spiked dramatically, so much so at a time when everything else was dropping, and it wasn't reflected the same on your exchange. They're having people look into it to make sure there weren't any, I guess, any anomalies.
Yeah, so within the crypto market, unlike the equities market, there's not a central place of order matching. All of the exchanges are disconnected, and that liquidity is only bridged by market makers or people doing arbitrage across the different markets. So occasionally, a single market on a single venue will get out of sync with the rest of the market. You know, it's possible you have one whale do a super large transaction on one market, and you know, that is only represented in that one place, and it may not be, you know, reflected in the other exchanges. So that happens pretty much all the time. Of course, they're going to look into it. You know, we would look into it if it happened on our exchange as well, just to make sure it wasn't a mistake or a trading engine malfunction or something like that. But you know, that's pretty much par for the course here in crypto.
Yeah, I know that we have a lot of equity investors who are scratching their heads saying, we don't get this. I mean, it could be one price on one exchange and something completely different on another. But that leads me to the fact that there are people who absolutely love cryptocurrency. Definitely not China, though. Where does the Chinese attack on crypto stand right now? And, you know, we had one market expert, you know, his name's Wolfgang Kester. He looks at all currencies, and he said, this is the beginning of the end for digital currencies because China's going to lock them out. You've got Israel, Singapore, even the United States talking about central bank-driven digital currencies. Do you have any kind of thesis as to why that is completely wrong?
Yeah, look, I don't think China has a full-scale attack on cryptocurrency. You know, I think they might be worried about the optics of their ESG position. They might be worried about the amount of coal that they're burning. But, you know, look, on the other hand, China makes most of the stuff for the world. So, you know, they've got a lot of manufacturing there. They've got a lot of need for power that maybe we don't have here because we've outsourced all of our manufacturing. So to see them say that they want China miners out of the country, that's totally okay with me. I mean, from my perspective, I think, you know, this looks like a massive opportunity for the United States to capture all of that mining capacity, and it would be a huge strategic win for us in terms of national security, in terms of like the future of owning a piece of the crypto industry and having more control over that domestically. So I think it's only a good thing, and, you know, further just proves that, you know, China controls this industry. You know, I think it's a global thing, and that the miners are able to just up and move on a few weeks' notice, I think says a lot about how distributed this really is. And these miners are going to where there's cheap energy, to where there's wasted energy, and that's the cheapest energy out there. They're making these renewable energy sources more efficient, more sustainable. So I think mining is doing a lot to improve the green energy situation in the world.
Jesse, I know that you've said that Kraken is probably going to go public within the next 12 to 18 months. What does an exchange that you choose to go public on, to list on, what must it have? I mean, are you considering the NASDAQ over, the New York Stock Exchange? You got to give me a sense.
Well, maybe by then we'll be able to go public on our own exchange. I think that could be interesting. But so we're looking at a bunch of options. There's not one clear differentiator right now. We'll probably decide further along the way. Something that we really want to do is just give our clients more exposure to the business. We have customers constantly asking us how can they buy Kraken shares. And, that's something that I think is broken in the current system, is that we have these accredited investor rules, and it's very hard for the average Joe to buy into some of these companies at earlier stages. And, just giving our customers access to the company that they love is something, that's really driving this.
Jesse Powell of Kraken, we'll have you back, because whether people are involved in investing in cryptocurrencies, it really is interesting to watch, even from an equity perspective. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.